and welcome back to 5DT with me. And I thought we would focus on the chakra system and specifically how that ties in to human design and also how that ties into stress recovery as a whole. So let's talk a little more deeply about human design, especially if you're not familiar with it. So human design is a system or a philosophy that was developed by a gentleman that goes by the name of Ra Uru Hu. And it is a combination of a variety of different techniques, philosophies, and so on, including the I Ching, Kabbalah, the chakra system, astrology, all of those things fused into one thing in order to categorize you as you are, based again off of that natal chart information. So birthplace, birth time, birth date, and categorizing you into one of 5 different personality types or categories. And these personality types, based on whichever one you fall into, explain how you were designed to exchange energy with the world. And once you plug all of that information into the human design template, and you get a chart that looks very much like this. This is my chart, okay? So let's talk about these energy centers that we see throughout the chart, okay? There are 9 of them. And this is something that ties directly into the chakra system. So in traditional yogic chakra philosophy, there are 7 major energy centers within the meridian of the body, the first being the root at the base of the pelvic floor. And then that energy meridian follows up parallel to your spine until you get to the 7th chakra at the top of the head, which is called the crown chakra. And as part of the human design philosophy, we look at 2 of those chakras as splitting into 2 extra energy centers. So there's a total of 9 energy centers. And as you evaluate your chart, you begin to see that certain energy centers are filled in, right? So here's my throat, here's my 3rd eye, and we have some over here as well. And then there are some that are completely open, meaning that they have no connection, and there's one up here, and they're wide open. And then you also have some that are partially open. So you have a connection coming in here, but it's mostly open and not filled in. And that is all representative of different things. So for the energy centers, which correspond to the chakras, that are wide open, you are more susceptible, you're more vulnerable, you're more influenced by people, places, and things and their energy that they're putting out. So with all of that being said, I also have closed centers, one here at the 3rd eye, like I was saying before, and one here at the throat. And what that means is that they're less susceptible and less vulnerable to other energies coming in and robbing me of my own innate personal energy, own innate personal power that resides in those energy centers. So the throat, speaking my truth. The 3rd eye is my intuition and my wisdom and my vision, not just physically, but also as a clairvoyant. Now, that is not where the human design system ends. There's so much more to it. It is very in-depth. Just so you know, it does take an extensive amount of time to get your charts together if you're interested in having a reading. But I love doing it because when I first did it for myself, it was so empowering for me to see that there were certain aspects of my personality that were designed a specific way. And it was always these aspects of my personality that people were critical of, or people were just like trying to change about me. And that's just because I was surrounding myself with all the wrong people. Maybe I was in the wrong community, whatever it was, because they weren't accepting of me as the way that I am, as I am standing in my highest, most authentic self. And it allowed me to let go of a lot of self-judgment, a lot of self-criticism, and just find my flow state again. Because the more we understand these energy centers, the more we understand how they're influenced, the better tools we have for balancing and aligning these energy centers, the better ability we have to not only shorten our stress recovery windows, but also to shorten the time that it takes to get us back into full alignment and into full balance. And when we're feeling like we're aligned, when we're feeling like those energy centers are working and spinning and doing the job that they were designed to do, especially when all of them are in synchronicity, that is when we are in full flow state. And that's ultimately what this is all about. Whether it's human design, whether it's chakras, whatever it is, this is all about helping you to identify when you are out of flow and how you can get back into flow, and allowing you to stay in flow as long as you possibly can, because that's when we're our healthiest, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And full flow state is how you were designed to be. But because we live in a hectic and chaotic world where we're inundated all the time with stimuli and things to do and kids to run around and so-and-so to talk to, and I've got this appointment, and oh my gosh, I haven't finished my homework, or I have a deadline, whatever it is, all of that stuff is coming at you all of the time. And so that's why things get out of whack all the time, right? None of us are infallible. So just know that the reason why I'm so excited when I talk about this is not only because it is a passion of mine, but also because I have been working really, really hard behind the scenes, putting a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into what I'm debuting for you today, which is my new online course called Master and Balance Your Chakras. And this course is a self-paced 8-week online course, so you can take it as slow as you need to, work it into your schedule, whatever. And each week we do a full-on deep dive into each of the energy centers, starting with the root chakra, working our way up to the crown chakra in the 7th week. And then in the 8th week, we do a really big chakra balancing session together. And in between the weeks, you've got plenty of mindfulness activities and plenty of resources to work with in order to support you really getting everything back into alignment, back into balance, so that you can feel a level of peace that you know is accessible to you, but you have not been able to access possibly in a really long time, so that you can regain some balance in your life, not just work-life balance, but the mind, body, spirit connection. And so that you can feel joy again, you can embrace happiness, you can move forward in a way that empowers you, because not only are you taking this online course and are you learning all of these things, but at the end of the day, you have full access to this course for as long as you want to. You can go back into the materials at any time, you can rewatch videos, you can redo mindfulness exercises in order to get yourself really honed in, to get everything really super dialed in. And I think the biggest challenge that people have when it comes to wanting to work with these kinds of things is finding the motivation and finding the devotion to ourselves as part of our own self-care to really step up to the plate and say, you know what, I am spending all this time taking care of everybody else. I'm not keeping my own cup full. I need to start giving all of that love and compassion and attention and nurturing energy that I'm putting out into the world for other people. And I need to start shining that on myself. And by doing that, committing to a program like this, by getting out of your own way, because we all avoid the things that we know we need to do the most. I mean, I certainly do that all the time. And then I have to stop and go, right, okay, so let's redirect and let's get focused again. So if you have any questions on the program, if you want to discuss anything about chakras, if you want to learn more about human design, set up a session with me to have your chart read, anything that you have questions about, whatever platform you're on, whatever you're seeing this on, drop a comment, DM me, go ahead and email me, which is probably the easiest thing to do by going on to the 5dcollective.com and sending me an email. Happy to answer anything and everything that you have questions about. But I developed this course in order to empower you. I want you to feel like you have all of the energetic tools available to you so that you can continue to stand in your personal power, feel like you have full control over your life again, and again, dip in to the joy that is your birthright to deserve in this lifetime. And of course, always feel free to drop in and join me for 5D tea with me anytime. I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, namaste.